We are taught from an early age that loudness is a measure of presence. We assume the person doing the most talking is doing the most leading. The one dominating the conversation is the one with the most to offer. It is a bias built into the architecture of modern society, a world that rewards noise and equates silence with absence. But if you sit in a room and watch carefully, you start to realize something deeply unsettling about this arrangement. The loudest people are often broadcasting, not receiving. They are filling space, not observing it. And then, there are the quiet ones. The people sitting at the edge of the conversation. The ones who speak rarely and only when spoken to. Society often diagnoses this silence as a flaw. Shyness, introversion, a lack of confidence. But psychology reveals a much sharper, far more intimidating reality. They aren't quiet because they are disengaged. They are quiet because they are processing at a bandwidth the rest of the room cannot comprehend. To understand the quiet observer, we have to look past behavior and into neurology. What we call quietness is often a manifestation of something researchers call sensory processing sensitivity. In a standard brain, external stimuli, conversations, body language, changes in tone, micro-expressions, are filtered. The brain ignores the background noise to focus on the immediate subject. It is a survival mechanism. If you notice everything, you get overwhelmed. But the quiet observer's brain does not filter the same way. Their neurological architecture is designed for deep processing. When they walk into a room, they do not just hear the conversation. They hear the hesitation in someone's voice. They see the micro-expression of contempt flash across a face for a fraction of a second. They notice who avoids eye contact, who shifts their weight when a certain topic is brought up, who is pretending to listen, and who is quietly waiting for their turn to speak. They are not just taking in the primary data. They are absorbing the metadata. This level of observation comes with a tremendous cognitive cost. You cannot absorb the emotional undercurrents of an entire room without feeling the weight of it. This is the observer's burden. The quietness is not a lack of things to say. It is a survival tactic. It is a dam built to hold back a flood. If they were to verbalize everything they were seeing, every hypocrisy, every hidden motive, every unspoken tension, they would be terrifying to be around. So, they choose silence. They become a vault. But holding that much information is exhausting. This is why highly observant, quiet people require so much isolation. It is not that they hate people. It is that interacting with people requires them to process a staggering amount of data. And isolation is the only place where the data stream finally stops, where they can finally put the burden down. Because they are quiet, they become invisible. People project their own assumptions onto them. They assume the quiet person is naive or slow or simply not paying attention. And this is where the danger lies. People let their guard down around quiet people. The loudest person in the room is busy managing their image. The quiet person is watching them do it. They see the manipulation. They see the fragile egos. They see the lies people tell themselves to get through the day. The quiet person becomes the unintended keeper of everyone's secrets. They know exactly who is dangerous, who is genuine, and who will betray you the moment it becomes convenient. They possess an incredible amount of social leverage, entirely by accident. Yet, they almost never use it. Not out of nobility, but because to use it would require them to step into the noise, and they have no desire to be part of the noise. There is a profound loneliness in seeing this clearly. When you observe human behavior at its core, stripped of the polite fictions we all agree to believe, you realize how fragile most connections really are. You see people performing for each other. You see the transactional nature of most relationships. And once you see the strings pulling the puppets, it becomes very difficult to enjoy the show. This is the true cost of their architecture. The quiet observer often struggles to find genuine connection, because genuine connection requires a shared reality. And the reality they live in, the one constructed from micro-expressions, hidden motives, and raw behavioral data, is a reality very few people have access to. They are surrounded by people, yet fundamentally alone with their observations. We live in a world terrified of silence. We fill every empty space with sound, convinced that if the noise stops, we might have to finally face ourselves. We use constant conversation as a shield against our own thoughts. But the quiet ones have already faced themselves. They have walked through their own mental shadows. They have faced the noise of the world, dissected it, and chosen to sit beside it rather than drown in it. They do not need the validation of the crowd because they have mastered the art of existing within their own minds. They are the archivists of the human condition, the silent witnesses to the things we try to hide, the insecurities we try to mask with loud laughter. So the next time you are in a room and you see someone sitting quietly on the edge, not fighting for the spotlight, not asserting their dominance, not desperate to be heard, do not mistake their silence for absence. Do not assume they have nothing to say. They are exactly where they want to be, and they see absolutely everything.